Alright, moving on from whatever the hell that was, you guys gotta hear this next thing. Tech Twitter just imploded, basically. So, Jack Dorsey, Mr. Twitter founder turned Bitcoin prophet, he just casually tweeted, delete all IP law. Like 4 words, boom.
Wait, all of it? Like copyright, patents, everything? Just gone?
Delete all IP law? Is he serious? That sounds less like a policy proposal and more like something you'd tweet after 3 edibles.
Exactly. And it gets better. Guess who pops up in the replies like a Bond villain revealing his plan? Elon Musk just replies, I agree, fucking wild, right? 2 of the biggest tech overlords. Basically saying, yeah, let's just burn down the system that protects, well, everything creative.
Okay, hold on. For context, intellectual property law in theory is meant to protect creators, copyright for art, music, writing, patents for inventions, and is supposed to give the creator a temporary monopoly, a chance to benefit from their work before it enters the public domain. It's rooted in the idea of rewarding ingenuity and artistic effort.
In theory being the operative phrase, Isla. In practice, IP law is a multi-trillion-dollar battlefield. It's how corporations build empires, protect their market share, and yes, occasionally pay creators pennies on the dollar. It dictates everything from movie franchises to drug patents, to the design of your fucking smartphone. Deleting it isn't just radical, it's economic anarchy. Fun to watch, maybe, but utterly insane.
Well, Jack's argument apparently is that the current system mostly just makes lawyers and giant corporations the gatekeepers. He calls them rich. He thinks creators would actually get paid better under some new Yemeyer model.
Oh, I'm sure they would, Chicky. I'm sure creators currently struggling to get royalties from Spotify or YouTube are thrilled at the prospect of Jack and Elon devising a new model where their work is just free for the taking, please. The only gatekeepers this potentially dismantles are the ones that offer some protection, however flawed. What replaces it? The platforms themselves becoming the sole arbiters of value? Here, thanks.
And the reaction from artists, it's exactly what you'd expect. People are furious. I saw comments calling it a declaration of war on creators. They feel like these tech billionaires, whose entire empires are built on code, often protected by IP, are now saying, okay, we got ours. Now let's tear down the ladder so nobody else can climb up. It feels deeply hypocritical and predatory.
From a PR perspective, it's a disaster for Dorsey and Musk. Though they probably don't care, it feeds the narrative that big tech sees creators not as partners, as resources to be mined, like digital plankton for their algorithmic whales. It reinforces the tech bro arrogance stereotype perfectly. Damage control would be pointless. They clearly intended to provoke. And this isn't happening in a vacuum. Look at the AI situation right now. Companies, including ones Musk is involved with or competing against, are getting sued left and right for scraping the entire internet, art, articles, photos, to train their AI models without permission or payment.
Oh yeah, like that Stable Diffusion lawsuit. Artists finding their exact styles copied? That's fucked up.
Exactly. So when Dorsey and Musk say, delete IP law right now, it sounds suspiciously like they want legal cover to keep doing that, or even escalate it. They want the data, the content, not the digital soul of human creativity without the inconvenient need to license it or pay for it.
It's heartbreaking, honestly. Imagine pouring your soul into a piece of art, something deeply personal, only to find it ingested by an algorithm and spat back out as a million generic variations, with no credit, no compensation, no connection to the original human spark. Deleting IP law feels like validating that process on a massive scale. It commodifies the soul.
Okay, but devil's advocate here, what if they're kinda right? In a chaotic, burn it all down way? Imagine a world with no copyright bullshit. Think of the memes, the remixes, the fanfiction. An explosion of creativity where everyone can build on everyone else's stuff without getting cease and desist letters from Disney's army of lawyers. Wouldn't that be kinda cool? Like the Wild West of content?
There's a certain romanticism to that, Kiki. Unfettered expression, a global digital commons. It resonates with the early ideals of the internet. But the Wild West was also violent, exploitative, and ruled by those with the most power and fewest scruples, who protects the vulnerable in in that scenario?
Who protects them? Nobody. That's the point. Let's get real. How does anyone make a living creating anything if the second they release it, anyone from a kid in their basement to Meta or Google can copy it, do, modify it, sell it, and owe the creator absolutely nothing? Forget pennies on the dollar, we're talking zero, nada, zip. Are we expecting artists to live on exposure and good vibes? Because my landlord doesn't accept good vibes for rent. This isn't unleashing creativity. It's unleashing exploitation. It benefits exactly two groups: tech giants who want infinite free content, and consumers who don't want to pay for anything. Creators get screwed, end of story.
It feels terrifyingly precarious in the image of an artist, a musician, a writer spending years honing their craft, pouring their life into their work, only to have it instantly replicated and monetized by massive corporations with zero recourse. It's dystopian. How could you possibly sustain a creative life in that environment? It incentives quantity over quality, virality over depth.
Okay. Point taken. Rent is important, but let's play this out. Hypothetical time. Your TikTok dance goes mega viral, like billions of views. Suddenly, Coca-Cola uses the exact dance in a Super Bowl ad. No credit, no cash. In Jack and Elon's utopia, is that cool? Or do you sue? Oh wait, you can't.
In that scenario, under abolished IP, Coca-Cola owes you nothing. Your creativity becomes free, raw material for their marketing engine. Now extrapolate that to every song, every image, every piece of code, every invention. Corporations with distribution power win. Individual creators lose. It's the inevitable outcome. Forget suing. You wouldn't even have a basis to complain.
Think about cinema. Would the Marvel universe even exist without IP? Or would we have 1,000 competing, slightly off Iron Man variants flooding YouTube? None of them with the budget or coherence of the original. Maybe that's the creativity they envision, an endless sea of derivative sludge. Does culture thrive, or does it just dilute into noise?
Or maybe we get some sick, R-rated, fan-made Wolverine film that Marvel's lawyers couldn't shut down. See upsides.
Yes, Kiki. Amidst the ashes of the entire creative economy, we might get a decent fan film. A fair trade, clearly. And let's circle back to AI. Is IP law really holding back AI progress, as they imply? Or is that just a convenient excuse for companies that got caught with their hand in the digital cookie jar?
Right? Like, are their precious AI babies gonna starve if they can't eat copyrighted images for breakfast? Sounds like bullshit whining to me. Pay the damn artists if you want to use their work. It's not rocket science, even for rocket scientists like Elon.
The argument that IP stifles innovation is ancient, but applying it now in the context of generative AI training feels particularly self-serving. They built multi-billion-dollar models by allegedly infringing copyright on a massive scale, and now they want the laws changed retroactively to legitimize it. It's a power play disguised as a philosophical debate.
So yeah, it really is a culture war, isn't it? The Silicon Valley disruption mindset versus everyone who actually makes stuff. Tech lords in their hyperloops versus artists trying to afford paint. David vs. Goliath, but Goliath has rockets and owns the platform David uses to complain.
It highlights a fundamental disconnect in values. Is the goal innovation and profit at any cost, even if it means devaluing human expression? Or do we believe that art, culture, and individual creativity have inherent worth that deserves protection and nurturing? Abolishing IP feels like a definitive answer from the tech side. Code is king, content is fuel, creators are disposable.
It's about control. Who controls the flow of information, culture, and money in the digital age? Removing IP shifts power dramatically towards platforms and aggregators, away from individual creators and traditional rights holders. Whether that's good depends entirely on where you sit in that ecosystem. For us, probably not great.
It does make you think, though, meta moment, how much of our podcast relies on discussing copyrighted material, movies, music, news articles like this one. We operate under fair use, but if that concept vanishes along with all IP law, what does that mean for commentary, criticism, even this conversation?
Oh shit, are we gonna get sued into oblivion in this hypothetical future? Or are we totally free to play any song, show any movie clip, do whatever the fuck we want, no rules, anarchy? Let's play the entire Beatles catalog right now. Just kidding. Probably. Maybe. Who knows?
The likely reality is less exciting. Without clear rules like fair use, platforms like YouTube or Spotify would likely become more restrictive, terrified of lawsuits from, well, whoever figures out how to sue in a lawless wasteland. Or they'd just demonetize everything that smells remotely like someone else's work. Freedom through abolition? Unlikely. More likely. It's chaos benefiting the powerful.
So final thoughts? Is Jack Dorsey a visionary freeing us from corporate shackles? Or just a billionaire anarchist tossing a grenade into the creative world while Elon cheers him on?
I think it's a dangerous fantasy born from a place of extreme privilege. It ignores the vulnerability of artists and the complex ecosystem needed to sustain creative work. True freedom for creators requires respect and support, not the demolition of the structures, however flawed, that offer some protection. It feels less visionary, more nihilistic.
It's a solution in search of a problem that primarily benefits those proposing it. Abolishing IP is economically naive and culturally destructive. It's a power grab dressed up as populism. Will it happen? No. But the fact they feel comfortable suggesting, it tells you everything about how little they value creative work that isn't their own code. It's fundamentally unserious. The underlying sentiment is deeply troubling.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards rich dudes want to break stuff because they're bored. It's fun to think about the chaos, but nah, pay people for their shit. Wild concept, I know. Anyway, the internet's doing you keep arguing about this forever, so good luck to everyone involved, I guess. What a mess.